Greetings and salutations. This is the MovieDude Eric for the Art House Legends videocast. It's that time again. That's right. It is Oscar season, and I am one of those that absolutely loves everything about Oscar season because it's a celebration of movies. And this year we have a lot of great films that are out, and some of them might actually be in the jockeying position for that little gold statue. And of course, there's going to be a lot of other awards that are being put out there around this time, a few top 10 lists. Hopefully I'll have mine done roughly around the first week or two of January, and I'll definitely be posting it on here as well. So, the kickoff for the award season always comes down to the National Board Review. This is the official kickoff, and it happens on December 1st of every year. And on the second day comes with the New York Film Critics picks, and I'm going to be looking at both of those, and we're going to kind of see how the race looks. I'll kind of give some of my opinions about what I thought about these particular films, if I've seen them, and thankfully I've seen quite a few of them so far, a few that I intend to see hopefully within the next few weeks or so, and one that I might have to wait until January to see. So, let's go ahead and let's get into it, and we're going to start off with the National Board Review. Now, for all you geeks out there, I'm pretty sure that you didn't expect that Mad Max Fury Road would be the best film as the National Board of Review sees it, and that happens to be the movie that they picked. Now, for me, I really enjoyed Mad Max, and I'm glad to see that it's getting some critical attention. It's not my particular pick for best film, but I can definitely understand why the National Board of Review decided to pick that as their best film. Interesting enough, though, that Mad Max didn't get any other wins that are on this list, and I'm wondering if that means that Mad Max has a chance at a Best Picture nomination. I personally would say that Mad Max has a decent chance at a nomination. If anything, I would say that Charlize Theron would be in the running for Best Actress. I would also probably put John Steele cinematography. I'd also probably say the editing of the film, and maybe George Miller as director. As for anything else, I really don't see it, but you never know. The technical aspects, perhaps the sound design, could come in. I saw it in a really good theater, so the sound mix was really good, although I have to say I have heard some pretty decent sound mixes that would rival Mad Max. But overall, this is a good thing for Mad Max in its hopes for Academy Award, and it'll be up to anybody's guess as to see if there's more to it. Now, the real big winner, as I can see here, really comes down to The Martian. The Martian has won four of the awards from the National Board of Review. It won Best Director for Ridley Scott. It won Best Actor for Matt Damon. It won Best Adapted Screenplay for Drew Goddard. For all you geeks out there, you probably recognize him for his work with Joss Whedon specifically, and most notably the Cabin in the Woods. And it also won a... hold on just a second. Oh, what was it that it won again? Oh, I guess it did just get 3. I thought it was a 4th, but apparently I am wrong. Although it did also get a top 10 pick in their top 10 films, which we'll get to in just a second. The other big winner that I think is an interesting choice is Sylvester Stallone for Creed. Now, this is a step back for Stallone as when it comes to control of the Rocky franchise, and apparently he picked really well when he decided to allow to allow this particular team to take over. And his performance in Creed, which is exceptional if you haven't seen it, I would strongly recommend Creed. And this is a good pick for Best Supporting Actor. Again, I don't know if I would pick this in my list, but that's going to be coming down the line. I haven't seen everything that I intend to see, so I can't really say, but this is a good pick, and I honestly think that Stallone has a good chance of not just being nominated. In fact, I'd almost say there's a pretty decent, let's say about a 90% chance he's going to get nominated for an Academy Award, and I would say at this rate, he's got about a 70 to 65% chance of actually winning the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Also nominated for the acting prizes, Brie Larson for Room. Now, I just recently saw this film, and it's incredible, and Brie Larson's performance is possibly one of my favorite performances of the year so far. This is a powerhouse performance. It's a powerhouse film. It's sad that it's only being shown in just a few theaters. I have a feeling that if they release this out there for the general audiences, this thing could actually make some decent money. So, A24, by all means, take that risk, release it in a few other theaters. I think you have an audience here that you're not getting out there, and I think that if you just put a little bit extra into that marketing budget, you might be surprised who'll want to go see this film. Also, The Hateful Eight picked up awards for Best Supporting Actress for Jennifer Jason Leigh and for Quentin Tarantino for his original screenplay. This is interesting for me because in the trailers that we've seen so far for Hateful Eight, Jennifer Jason Leigh has really been kind of not shown very well, which leads me to think, especially considering this particular this particular win, if her character is a lot more important to the story and that they're hiding it for people to see, kind of in the way that they kind of let Jennifer Hudson and Dreamgirls kind of not really get out their whole lot and really wow people and get that kind of buzz factor. Hateful Eight does look like it's going to be a pretty interesting run, considering that it's going to be coming out after Star Wars. I am hoping to see it in its 70 millimeter format, and if I do, hopefully I will be able to talk about it here on the Filmcast at some point. Also, Best Animated Feature, Inside Out. If you know me, and if you've seen our take on Inside Out, you know that this is one of my favorite films of the year. And yes, although I would really hope that Inside Out gets a nomination for Best Picture at the Academy, we'll see when we get there. Other things I would have to bring up is the Breakthrough Performance category for the National Board of Review. Actually has a tie between Abraham Atta from Beast of No Nation. If you haven't checked out our podcast on Beast of No Nation, go to iTunes or to our website, and you can download it and you can hear our take on it. Personally, Abraham Atta is a great performer here, young performer. I want to say he's about 10 to 12. I think I don't know his actual age, but for such a young actor, he does an incredible job, and this is a great nomination. And he actually shares it with Jacob Tremblay from Room, who is a 5-year-old actor and exceptionally good in Room, especially with Brie Larson. The two of them have really great chemistry, and like I said, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a great film. Best Ensemble goes to The Big Short. I am surprised that The Big Short didn't get anything else, but this is going to be one of those films that I have a feeling is going to be the Wolf of Wall Street of this particular year, and I'm curious to see where that goes specifically. Now, the top 10 films that the National Board of Review had posted, and this is in no order: Bridge of Spies, Creed, The Hateful Eight, Inside Out, The Martian, Room, Sicario, Spotlight, and Straight Outta Compton. I have seen 6 of these 10, and all of them I say are they have a good reason to be there. I don't dislike any of the films that I've seen out of this, and I am intending to see the rest of these as soon as possible. All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about the New York Film Critics Association and their picks. Their Best Picture winner is Carol from Todd Haynes. This is definitely in his wheelhouse, about a lesbian affair between Kate Blanchett and Rooney Mara. A period piece, I believe, in the late 50s, early 60s. Looks beautiful, and it's based on a Patricia Highsmith novel. Phyllis Nagy wrote the screenplay for it, which is, again, a different thing for Todd Haynes. He usually writes his own screenplays, and I have to admit I'm rather interested to see where this one particularly goes, especially with the degree of acting that they have in this particular film. Todd Haynes also got the Best Director for this, and Carol also got Best Screenplay and Best Cinematography. That's got to be... I don't know if I'm going to agree with them on that, but who knows? I haven't seen it, so I can't say for certain. Best Actor goes to Michael Keaton for Spotlight. Now, Spotlight is a very unique film in the sense that this is not very flashy. And I honestly believe that Michael Keaton is one of the best performances of the year in Spotlight. But you have to understand, though, is that this is not as sexy and as hip as something like Birdman last year. But I think that this is actually a better performance because it is more subdued. And considering the fact that he's really having to play it super straight, and this could be a really boring performance in the hands of someone that doesn't know what they're doing with this particular part. I think Spotlight was a great thing for Michael Keaton, and I will be rooting for him to get a nomination this year for Best Actor specifically. Spotlight apparently did not get anything else, although I will also kind of give the hint that Mark Ruffalo, who was also in that film, will hopefully be nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and I'm pretty sure that he will come up in some of these top 10 lists, and some of these award lists as we go along. Best Actress goes to Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn. I also saw this particular film, and this is, again, one of those performances that I absolutely love. And that's saying something because the film itself is kind of it's kind of a, I don't want to say rote, but definitely a routine period romance story. But Saoirse Ronan is brilliant. She is shot well. She has incredible acting, which if you've ever seen her in Atonement or any of her other films, with the exception of The Host, and don't blame her for that one, honestly, I'm really glad that she got this particular nomination, and I really do hope that she gets nominated for Best Actress come the Academy. Best Supporting Actor is Mark Rylance from Bridge of Spies, and especially if you've seen this film, he is just a performer that he is so subtle, and you don't realize just how brilliant his performance is until around the end of the film. And that's saying something about his performance. And again, I think that he's going to be a lock for an Academy Award nomination just because of the strength of his performance. I also think that it's worthy. So by all means, let's see where this goes as well. Most interesting enough, the Best Supporting Actress goes to Kristen Stewart for Clouds of Sils Maria. I have not seen this film. Part of it probably might be the fact that Kristen Stewart is in it. I'm not a big fan of hers. But if I start seeing that more attention is being put into it, I might have to give it a shot and see what all the hubbub is about. For the other categories, Inside Out, again, Best Animated Film, and the Best... let's see here. And I already mentioned the other ones. And the best foreign film goes to Timbuktu. This is one of like 3 foreign films that have been kind of propping up in different lists, and different critics have been claiming a lot about it. The other one that is making some of these lists is Son of Saul from Turkey. That is going to be coming out in one of my local theaters, and I will probably get around to seeing it, considering all the attention that it has been getting. So that is it for these two particular lists. As we go along, there are going to be more lists that are going to be coming out. I will probably be posting at least one video a week, giving an update on the state of the race and kind of my commentary on some of the nominees that we're seeing. And when it comes time for the Golden Globe nominations and the Academy Award nominations, I'm hoping that we might have more people joining us to discuss this as well, and we might make it a live event so that other people can join it and give us their ideas. If you've seen some of these films, go ahead and talk about what you think of them. If you think that Mad Max Fury Road should win the Best Picture, by all means, go ahead and just put it in the comment section. And while you're there, by all means, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to us, go ahead and do so. Like I said, this season is going to be really intense. There are films that have not come out yet that still can affect race. We have In the Heart of the Sea, I believe it's In the Heart of the Sea, with the Ron Howard film with Chris Hemsworth. Obviously, The Hateful Eight hasn't come out yet. Another film that's been kind of been making some of these lists is Anomalisa, which is the new Charlie Kaufman film done with the claymation. And I have to say right now, that is one of the movies I am anticipating on the realm of as much as I'm anticipating Star Wars. So I guess you could say that that's going to be something I am looking forward to, maybe just a little bit. But until next time, this is the MovieDude Eric. Thank you for joining us, and next time, we'll keep an eye on the Oscars.